Easy vegan po' boy.
Not only is this the easiest vegan po' boy sandwich ever, but it is the best vegan po' boy sandwich.
Let's get cooking.
The key to getting our oyster mushrooms crispy is this one flour, garbanzo bean flour. This is our egg replacer. The first step in this recipe is adding our plant milk to the garbanzo bean flour. I have 1 cup flour, have a half a cup of plant milk, but I like to add a small amount of milk first just to make sure that we get the consistency perfect. So we're looking for a consistency that is kind of like pancake batter, but thin, almost like a crepe batter. We need it thick enough to coat the oyster mushroom, but not so thick that we're actually creating like a batter. And the reason I like to make our garbanzo bean egg replacer first is because it's going to continue to hydrate and it may thicken, and we want to make sure that the garbanzo bean flour does hydrate thoroughly. We get that started. We're going to let it sit, hang out. We're then going to adjust it later if it needs, and it may not need. And all these lumps will continue to hydrate, and it should be pretty smooth by the time we are ready to coat and cook our crispy oyster mushrooms. Just thick enough so it's just really falling off the spoon nicely. Time to mix our dry ingredients. A half cup of flour, just all purpose. We have 2 tablespoons of Old Bay seasoning, 1/4 cup of panko breadcrumb. We have 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, and of course, our semolina ground fine. And all we have to do is just mix our dry together, making sure everything is evenly distributed. What makes our special sauce so delicious is our mayonnaise recipe. So we're gonna start with half a cup. We have our chili powder. Of course, we have our relish. All we have to do is mix everything up. It'll be delicious. So we're gonna gently press the oyster mushroom into the garbanzo bean liquid. We're gonna use our spoon to just kind of scrape off some of the excess. And then we're gonna press it into our flour mixture. And we're gonna make sure we really are firmly pressing, covering all of the mushroom. And then we're gonna set it on our rack. Our oyster mushrooms are coated. Our pan is over medium high. We don't want it too hot because we need to cook the mushrooms at a temperature where the outside is golden brown, but the inside is cooked. If it's too hot, we'll burn the outside and we'll have raw mushroom on the inside. So just enough oil to coat the bottom of the pan. We're gonna gently place the mushroom in the pan. Our beautiful chef's press is working. Crispy, golden, brown, delicious. Put the heat back on. Gonna put the press back on. Not only does it make it crispy delicious, but it helps it cook it in like half the time. The chef's press has done its job. We have these beautifully crisp oyster mushrooms. Now all we have to do is build this delicious sandwich. We have our warm French roll. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut our roll in half. I'm gonna start with just a very generous spoon. Look at that. Woo, what's up? I'm gonna make sure to get a little bit on our top. Not a little, but a lot. I'm not playing around with this sandwich. Next, we're gonna put our arugula down. Next, we're gonna slice some thin tomatoes to go right on top of the arugula. Just a little sprinkle of kosher salt right on top. We're gonna place our tomatoes right on top of the arugula. And finally, our beautiful, crispy oyster mushrooms. Whoa, look at that bad boy. Then of course we have our bun right on top. And there we have it. Vegan po' boy sandwich made with oyster mushrooms. Crispy oyster mushrooms, the special sauce, the warm bun. All of this is making me so hungry. We're gonna cut it. Look at that, it's fire. Absolutely delicious. The oyster mushrooms are the star of the show. Crispy, delicious, seasoned. That's all I got to say, except for you need to make it and check it out right now. So, see you next week. Bye.